Hey everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Eric Gelwell with Spectrum News 1. Thanks for tuning in here on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you may be watching. I want to do an update as promised. It is November the 19th when I'm recording this around 8 p.m., just for reference here. We were talking about late last week the potential for a storm here before Thanksgiving. I want to give an update on that, and then we talked about some significant cold that would be coming in behind this storm. And well, I tell you what, the models have just been all over the place over the weekend on this storm system and what's coming, particularly what's coming after it. We still see the storm. We still think it's going to be a pretty big impact. It still looks to come in here Monday night into Tuesday. Um, but after that, things have changed a little bit, and that's kind of what I want to get into here and basically kind of show you what we're really contending with as we head through the next couple of days. But first things first, I do want to get into the main travel weather forecast. Let me get right into that. I'm going to bring that up here. And so this is a look at Monday's travel. And what I want to show you here on this graphic is the yellow there where a few delays are possible. The orange color, that's where there's a good bet for delays. Keep in mind when we're talking about delays, we're talking about air traffic delays are possible in those areas, as well as, the roads are going to be wet and in some cases snowy, depending on where we're talking about. This map uses the same color for just any type of delays, whether it be on the highway, roads, or on the airport. So this is a look at Monday. You can see the storm system that's coming from the southwest. And I'll get more specifics on this storm coming up here in just a bit, but right now, I just want to focus on travel. And you can see how this system is going to be pushing in. And then as we get into Monday night, you can see the orange beginning to spread through Indiana, Chicago. There could start to be some delays out of Chicago. If you've got flights connecting through Dallas or Houston, and then coming into Atlanta late Monday night into Tuesday. Now, Tuesday looks to be kind of the biggest headache for our region. And when I say our region, a lot of flights in and out of Ohio connect through Chicago, through Detroit, through Atlanta, D.C., uh, Charlotte. So those areas look to be impacted Tuesday. So if your travel plans take you on Tuesday, this is probably the day that's going to have the most headaches. And you can see that kind of transitions over to the East Coast on Wednesday, where if you're headed to New York City, I know some folks heading to New York for Thanksgiving, up through the Northeast, you get north of New York, away from west of the I-95 corridor, and there could be some snow. I do not expect snow here with this particular system coming in. Originally, we thought there could be some lake effect snow on the backside of this system. It now looks like the cold air with this system that comes through here Tuesday is going to be delayed a bit. And we still think cold air is coming for the end of the month, and perhaps as early as the weekend here after Thanksgiving. But at least going into Thursday, where we thought there could be some big lake effect snow from Cleveland up through Buffalo, that looks to be delayed somewhat. So you can see here's Thanksgiving. Travel a little bit better on Thanksgiving if you are traveling on that day itself. We are going to be watching another storm kind of coming through Denver, Colorado, as we get to the day after Thanksgiving. So if your flights are heading west or flights heading south that may be connecting through Charlotte or Atlanta Friday, maybe some headaches there, some delays with this. And you can see as we head into Saturday, we may get a weak system in here Saturday. And there's been some question on this, and I'll show you the models on that. Some models say yes, some say no. So we're going to keep maybe a few delays possible, again, back along the East Coast on Sunday. And then a lot of folks traveling Sunday to Monday. That's where things, I think, will be fairly quiet. So here are the specifics as far as the precipitation is concerned. You can see Monday morning, no problem here in the morning here tomorrow. Clouds are already going to start to roll in. Now, to the south and west of us, by Monday evening, there could start to be some thunderstorms from western Kentucky down through the Tennessee Valley, down to the lower Mississippi Valley. They could even have severe weather there. Now, as we get into Monday night and into Tuesday morning, that's when I think things will go downhill for us as far as quite a bit of rainfall projected into our area. And we're talking maybe a half inch to an inch in some places. Not a huge storm. Originally, we thought this might have some significant wind with it as well. I still think it gets breezy, but not into the criteria of wind advisories or high wind warnings or anything like that. But again, enough wind, especially from Chicago along the Great Lakes, could cause some problems along the lakes and perhaps into Chicago itself. Tuesday afternoon, still some wet weather in our area. I do think things improve Tuesday evening, although Cleveland, you may have to deal with the rain in northeastern Ohio for a bit longer. Here's Wednesday, and this is really our biggest travel day. the weather looks to calm down quite a bit in our region on Wednesday. Again, there could be some issues in the Northeast very early Wednesday, and then pretty quiet here for Thanksgiving Day now. And again, originally when we were talking with you last week, we thought there could be some lake effect snow from the snow belt in northeastern Ohio up into New York. Right now, that looks to be off the table. Um, Friday is when we start to see this next system pulling in, and this is the European model, by the way. And the GFS is a little bit different. It shows this system that comes in this weekend a little bit more suppressed, maybe down into Tennessee and the lower Mississippi Valley. But this is the European model, which is one of our better performing models in the long range. I say better, not best, but one of the better ones. And you can see it does have some precipitation coming in here Saturday morning. And at this point, there may be enough cold air early Saturday that we could see a little bit of a wintry mix early Saturday, and that may probably change over to rain Saturday afternoon. But I do think once this system goes by this weekend, that's when the cold air is really going to be shunted into our area. And I'll show you again that here in a moment. Rainfall potential, let's look at that. Again, this is with this system coming in Tuesday, Monday night, Tuesday. We're generally talking a good solid, almost half inch in most locations. And again, there'll be some pockets that do get up to an inch. There could be some thunderstorms in southern Ohio. I don't expect anything severe, but there could be some thunder farther into the south. Let's look at winds and wind gusts. I know some folks in my neighborhood, I'm sure in your neighborhood, may have put up some holiday Christmas decorations. Hopefully they're secure. It's that time of year we start to get some wind gusts. Here by actually Monday afternoon, we're going to start to notice the breeze picking up. You can see some gusts in northwestern Ohio may actually come up 20 to 30 miles per hour. And it gets pretty breezy into Monday evening out ahead of this cold front. I think the winds are going to be out of the southeast, kind of bringing up still some mild air, and then becoming more southeast as we head into Tuesday morning. And this is when the storm system is closest to us, this is when I think it does get pretty windy. So you can see some gusts up 30. Again, these are a look at potential wind gusts, not sustained, but potential wind gusts. And you could get some gusts up over 30, 35 miles per hour, particularly along the lake up in northeastern Ohio. So it is a pretty windy start to the day Tuesday. Low pressure is moving just to the northwest, probably up here. And if I show you this, it's going to be up here, basically from Fort Wayne up in this area. I'm going to highlight this. This is where that low is, right in here. So the low looks to track up here. So again, we're kind of getting these southeast warmer winds out ahead of that. And again, we'll put this into motion a little bit more. You see the winds kind of calm down Tuesday evening, and then we start to get on the backside of that. Notice the wind starts to come out of the northwest now. And so we start to get that colder air that comes in Wednesday night into Thursday. But right now, it doesn't look like frigid air, just kind of blustery. All right, let's talk about the cold now. And you can see the cold air kind of delayed here for a little bit until we get to November the 28th, which, again, is going to take us into the weekend after Thanksgiving. Really, a week from tomorrow, a week from Tuesday, is now when it looks like that really chilly air is going to move in. And this is going to be right up at the end of November. Again, originally we thought this might come in 4 or 5 days before that. Now it still looks like it's coming, but a little bit delayed. And after this is when the southern jet stream gets a little bit more active, and we could see an increased threat for wintry precipitation as we wrap up November and head into early December. That's kind of the way things are looking at this point. Again, too early to tell on specifics on that, but that's what we're seeing on how these things are panning out. So what I want to do is I want to go over here. I'm going to pull up, let's see, I want to pull up our interactive web and just kind of show you the actual raw model data here. And I think I got the GFS pulled up here. And so we were showing you, let me get to that screen here. There we go. So here's this screen. So here's where the GFS is showing. And again, this is now looking at this weekend. And here's this system on the GFS. Remember I showed you the European model that showed some precipitation coming in? Well, here's this little system here on the GFS model, which really just doesn't show a whole lot, as you can see. Here's what I wanted to show. Apologize for the delay there. I haven't done one of these videos in a while. So again, this is the European model. I'm just going to kind of back this up. And this is a look at what we call the ensemble. This is the deterministic right here, which shows this is the system, what it looks like on the raw model data. This is the one that's coming in here for us Monday night into Tuesday. Pretty good rain event for us. There's going to be severe weather down in this area here. That is Tennessee, down into Alabama, perhaps Mississippi, a severe weather threat there, and that system's going to move on by. But what I want to show you here, and I'm going to change this into a different mode so you can see kind of the green is the rain, the snow is the blue. And you see these little blue lines here? Now, those are looking at thicknesses, and where you see the blue lines, that's where it would typically be cold enough for snow. And notice up here across Canada, you see those blue lines, and you can see once it's 534, 522, 516, anything that's 540 and under is typically where we see snow. Notice again, we're looking at next week, or actually, yeah, this coming Tuesday night into Wednesday. Notice a bit of wintry precipitation upstate New York. Now I'll put this into motion, and so that system goes by. And then notice the cold air is still kind of locked up here right now. So I'm going to take this and show you a model that goes out a little bit farther. And let's see, let's just look at temperature itself, because I think this will give you a better idea of what we're talking about. So you can see the cold air is still locked to the north, but you see right here toward next week, notice there's a lot more maroon color, the darker blue color. So we do start to get colder. And again, you see the date up there, 28th, 29th. That's when we start to see that key of the cold air beginning to come in. And so if I look at the ensemble data now, and again, this is for you weather geeks out there. And so for those of you that are not weather geeks and do care less, I understand. I wanted to give you your part right at the beginning, but this is kind of looking at the long range, kind of what we're looking at. So now I'm looking at ensemble data. And so I'm going to back this up a little bit. Let me do that here. So let me back this up. So here's the storm that's coming in. And again, this is a look at an average of this model run many, many times. And so it gives us kind of, I think it's a look at over 40 different runs of the same model, just changing a little variable here and there so we can kind of get an average of the models, which gives us a little bit better, more accurate forecast. What we want to see, if for you snow lovers, is the green that's north of this blue line. So, for example, if there's a chance for snow, it would be in northern Michigan here Tuesday. But even that looks like it's not going to be quite cold enough, just a cold rain. So we do get some cold air that gets pulled in behind the system. So we're going to cool off for Thanksgiving, just not overly cold. But what I want to show you is notice that blue up to the north. Watch how it finally begins to push south as we head into the upcoming weekend. And then we see this storm system that's kind of coming out of the plains. So let me go back here to this run. And what we're seeing here, if we look right here, the model indicates that there could be some precipitation in our area this coming weekend. Again, we're looking at the 26th. And at that point, you can see the blue, the first blue line, which is that 0 degree isotherm, is off to the south of us. And that's at 0 degrees Celsius, by the way, not Fahrenheit. And then looking off to the north, it would be cold enough that we could get a little bit of snow. Precipitation looks very light, but if we do see any snow, it would likely be this coming weekend after Thanksgiving. And then there's a couple of chances as we head into the following week if we can stay cold enough. In fact, again, we're looking long range now going into the 30th. Very active southern part of the jet stream, and that's kind of what I wanted to focus on. There's a lot of stuff down here, a lot of moisture, for lack of better terminology. So it does look more active, and we do have some more cold air in place. So that's why we think as we get toward the end of the month, again, the picture's a little murky here, but there's at least a decent chance. Of course, we have to take the models with a grain of salt this far out, but again, we're looking at the ensemble, which typically it gives us a little bit better forecast here, but it does look like we could have a bit more active weather pattern as we head into the weekend after Thanksgiving and then the following week, like leading up to the 1st of December. So that's what we're keeping an eye on. That's what I want you to Keep in mind that we are going to get colder. We are going to get more active, as we should, as we wrap up November and head into December. So that's the latest. I just wanted to go down for that. The key things that I wanted to point out is we do have an active system that's coming in before Thanksgiving on Tuesday. It cools off behind the system, but the cold air looks to be delayed until the upcoming weekend, and really not until Tuesday, a week from this Tuesday. So that week after Thanksgiving, I think that's when we'll finally get the cold air that comes in, and then we'll have to keep an eye on that southern jet stream to see if we get some active storm systems in here that gives us a better threat for precipitation toward the end of the month, which for you snow lovers could be some snow. That's all I got for now. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, apologize for the technical things as we kind of fine tune this a little bit. Um, Hope you have had a great weekend. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving as well. I will be working starting tomorrow on air all the way through Thanksgiving, so I hope you'll join me over on Spectrum News One. Take care, everyone.